Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about connection pooling and why we need this connection pooling. So basically whenever we are going to fetch some data or maybe trying to do some kind of database activity, then we need some connection. Connection means from the application to the database. So there is a means this is a, let's say this is a kind of one applications over here and this is the database. So if we want to execute some queries in between, so before executing the query we need to establish the connection and send the user query to the database for execution. Okay, then after that application get the result and display the data to the user and close the connection. So that means what we are doing basically over here, whenever we are trying to execute some query, so before executing any query we need to establish a connection between the application to the database so that we can execute some query over there. Without establish the connections we are not able to execute any SQL query, because this is a basic need for doing this kind of or SQL kind of activities. We need the first establish the connection between these. Once the execution of queries is done, then we are closing the connection. So that means we are opening the connection, and after doing the database activity we are again closing the or maybe disconnect the database. So application will create a new connections for the new query. So this process of closing and creating the connection may slow down the performance of our applications. Why? Because the connection opening and the closing is the heavy task or heavy activity, is a kind of resource activity. Okay, so this is the connection open and the connection close. These are the basically it will up means down the performance of the like any application. So that's why the concept came over here, the connection pool. The connection pool means in Spring Boot basically a connection pool is a caching of database connection maintained so that connection can be reused when future requests to the databases are required. So connection pooling can be significantly improve the performance of application that must connect to a database. So by reusing the existing connection rather than creating a new each time a connection is needed. Okay, so this is called the connection pool. So over here you can see that this is not the first one, this is, so over here you can see that this is the connection pool. Okay, so here this box is represent the connection pool, and over here we are having this three pool over here. In the pool we are having the three active connection. Now if the client 1 trying to execute some queries, or client 2 and client 3, so they are already getting the available connection. So that means they are pulling the connection from the connection pool, means they are not going to create any connection or maybe closing connection before they are checking that connection is available or not. If the connection is available over here, then they are going to use that available connection. Okay, so that they are not going to wait for any connection, they are already picked the connection from the connection pool. So there is it's reduce the time for this one, so it will improve the performance of our application. So this is the concept of connection pooling. So connection pools are basically used to improve the performance of queries execution on a database. It's also prevent the closing and connection frequently, and also reduce the number of new connection. Okay, so in connection pooling basically a connection is a active connection or an available connection. When a new connection is created, it is placed into the connection pool and used for execute the queries, and after the execution it will close the connection. Okay, so pool basically connection pool maintain all those things, we don't need to manually doing all those stuff. Now let's say think of another scenario, like client 1, client 2 and client 3 already acquire this kind of connection. Already they are taking all the connection from over here. In the meantime, if any client trying to execute any query, so they need the connection. So in that time, if let's say that client 4 is trying to get some connection, so as all the active connection is held by this client 1 and 2 3, so this client 4 actually wait for the available connection over here. So once this client 1 or client 2 release the connection, then client 4 get a chance to get the active connection from this connection pool. So let's say now let's see this one. So here the client 1 release the connection, so that means one connection will be available. So client 4 basically acquire the connection from the connection pool. So this is the basically concept of connection pooling. So how this like connection pool basically works, that's I talked about in this diagram. Like whenever any applications request a connection from the connection pool, the pool basically assign available connection. If an unused connection is exist, the pool return it. Otherwise, if there is no available connection, the pool will create a new connection and assign it to the application as an active connection. Okay, so when the connection basically created, it added to the pool for multiple users, and after the connection, and the application send query for the execution, obtain the result and display it to the user. Then application closes the active connection, and like again it will add those connection to the connection pool. So in this way basically the connection pooling basically happening in background, it is worked, and also it's having like kind of lots of advantage, because it's reduced lots of time for creating basically connection and also the closing connection. It will take lot of time, so using the connection pool we can easily reduce those time, so that it will basically improve the connection, it will improve the application performance. So next what we will do, we will create one Spring Boot applications, or maybe I will use any existing application, so that I will implement this connection pooling, and I will also show you that how this connection pool is basically working internally, and also like how if we provide some kind of restriction over the connection pooling, then how the basically some request will wait for some times. Okay, and how it will also improve the performance into our system. Okay, so let's implement this connection pooling into our existing Spring Boot application. So I've already one existing Spring Boot application, that is to-do management system. So here I'm going to implement this connection pooling. So for implement the connection pooling system into our Spring Boot application, so there is a one default connection pooling mechanism already available into the Spring Boot, that is called HikariCP. So HikariCP is a JDBC data source implementation that provides a connection pooling mechanism. So it's basically lightweight and better performing. So here I am going to explain that or configure that Spring Boot 3 application to use the Hikari data source. So over here, so for these dependencies, Hikari dependencies, if we talked about the dependencies over here, so this Hikari CP dependencies basically it will come automatically if we are going to use this Spring Boot starter data JPA, either this one or maybe also it will come with the JDBC's one. Okay, Spring Boot starter JDBC. So here I am going to use this Spring Boot starter data JPA. So if we like explore over here, so we can see already like externally we are not going to use any HikariCP over here. It will come automatically with this Spring Boot starter data JPA. So if we expand this Maven dependencies over here, so you can see that HikariCP it's over here. Just show you over here we can get the HikariCP. Yes, this one HikariCP 5.1.0. Okay, if we check the dependencies hierarchy of this, now let's say if we search this HikariCP over here, so you can see this is coming from the data JPA, then starter JDBC, and then HikariCP. So this is already automatically is coming with this Spring Boot starter data JPA. So we don't need to manually include anything over here. So this is comes automatically. Now next basically for using this HikariCP into our systems, we need to define some we need to define some properties into our either maybe if we are using properties file or either YML file. So here in this properties file basically we're going to use those like properties. Like what are those properties? Like maximum pool size, minimum idle size, idle timeout, connection timeout, maximum lifetime basically. So these are the dependencies that basically we are going to use over here. So let me add those properties over here. So first of all, we need to add some properties. So like Spring Boot data source minimum pool. Okay, so let me add over here. So this is the maximum pool size, spring.datasource.hikari.maximum pool size. This is 5. Okay, so the default, if we are not, so default is 10. Okay, so I'm knowingly I'm decreasing this one just to simulate something like if the connection pool is already exhausted, then how the threads are waiting for some time to get the available connection from over there. Okay, then you can say the maximum minimum pool size. Okay, so this is maximum pool size and the minimum idle size. Okay, so there is another dependencies properties. Basically the minimum idle is 5. Then we can define the connection timeout, means suppose after, if the connection are not available though after certain time, so the connection will be timeout, so this will be a 30 second. Okay, next we can define the idle timeout. This will be the 1 minute, like 60 second. Okay, and then lifetime and the Hikari connection pool name also you can define over here. Okay, so these are the properties like over here. So like this if we say about this maximum pool size, here we can define the maximum number of connections that can be held in the connection pool. So here we are defining the 5. Okay, and this is the idle, defining the idles minimum number of idle connection that pool should try to maintain. Then idle timeout, especially maximum amount time that connection should remain idle before it closes. Okay, then lifetime, and these are the properties basically the lifetime of this connection pool. So these are the properties we can define over here. The other properties if we want to log the HikariCP parameters that HikariCP is configured correctly, or what is the configures, all the information. So for that basically we need to add another 2 properties for getting those details, like logging level for JAXR HikariCP is debug level and it's a trace, so that we can get the information into the console whenever we are going to run this one. Another the important, not important, but we can defining also, we can also enable the connection leak detection. So if in case if we are doing lots of operation and with minimum certain things, minimum certain threads or connection pool, then sometimes happen that connection leak can happen. Okay, just to identify those things, there is another property so that related to this connection leak basically. Okay, so like this data source dot hikari dot leak hyphen detection threshold is 2 seconds. Okay, so these are the basically properties that we need to define over here. So next what we can do, we can we can run this application, and from the we need to do some kind of load testing over here. We can call this method. Okay, and as you can see over here, we are using this MySQL databases over here. Okay, and we can call this method from any JMeter, so that we can at the same time we can call multiple thread into the system and we can get the log over here. So let me start this application. Okay, so run as Java application. So in the log basically we can see the details. Okay, let me expand this one. Okay, it will not take much time to start. Okay, and you can get the details over here. It will print all the log details related to the HikariCP and all. This is the driver. Okay, you can see that HikariCP, this is the connection pool configuration. Okay, this auto commit true, then this is the connection timeout that we have defined. Okay, then idle timeout over here, leak detection threshold, max lifetime, maximum pool size. So these are the properties we have set into the properties file, right? And over here you can see that pool state, this total is 1, active is 1, then total 3, 4, 5. Means once the application is basically start, then it will added connection, means whatever the number of connection we have put into the properties file, that total number of connection it will provide into the connection pool, so that whenever it will try to fetch any data, then it will basically take the connection from the connection pool instead of creating the new connection, right? So this is the benefit of this connection. And also you can get the HikariCP detail, means the logging details. In the from the log we can see that how much connections are available, these are the idle, okay, this is the active, okay. So that means this is the like details of this one. You can see that total is 5, idle is 5, okay. That means total now in the connection pool having 5 connection. So next what I will do, I will open the JMeter, and from the JMeter I will call this API, this API, so that we can replicate, like if the connection pool are like exhausted, then how the threads are waiting, okay. So let me open this JMeter. So here you can see I've opened this JMeter, and over here I have configured this API like this localhost 8080, then API to do's, okay. And here we can see the thread configuration. Okay, let me try with this 500 first. Okay, so I am trying with the 500 thread request for this time. So let me clear this console. Now let me run this one. Okay, so in the background here it will come the request over here. Okay, so you can see it's initializing dispatcher servlet. So you can see that connection not added, total 5, active 5, and waiting is 78. You can see that connections, they are like not able to get the connection, so pool sufficient. Now means after this, means these are like, here you can see that waiting is 162. So till this is going in, after certain time again connection are available into the pool. That means here whenever the request was passing, means like hit at a time 500 requests, so they are not able to, at a time they are trying to call the databases, so they are not able to, means 5 connection already in use, so they are not able to get the any active connection from the connection pool, okay. So that's why these are the waiting state, okay. So now after certain time again, so you can see now here like this total 5 and the idle also 5, okay. So that means now all the connection are released, and if we see that here results, so you can see all are passed now, okay. So this is the like thing that we can really means replicate that how this connection pool are basically uh, uh, give us the like all the available connection, and if the connections are not available at a certain of time, then it will wait for some time to wait for release the another connection. We define time, means we can also define the time that how much time they will wait. So till that time they will wait for this connection. If till they are not getting the connection, then they will throw the leak detection or something. So that also we can like replicate. We just need to decrease this timeline. Let me also call this one, okay. So over here you can see, so let me, okay, I need to restart this application because I have changed something over here, right? So once the changes are done, then I can like rerun this application, and again I just need to run the load test or maybe kind of JMeter load test again. So here we are getting this exception, like the minimum connection timeout should be like 250 second actually, okay. So here I'm mentioning this 250 milliseconds, so I can mention this 250 millisecond, okay, 250. So here I can mention this 25. Let's see, let me restart this application again. Okay, so it again like start now. So let me try to call those services, okay. So let me clean this one, okay. So I've started this one, and you can see that these are the like waiting state, these are currently waiting for this one, okay. Now you can see that apparently current connection leak detected. Okay, so if we decrease the time, means that time they are trying to get the connection, so they means wait for this time, so till that they are not able to get the connection, so that's why this connection leak is detected. Okay, so you can see that this was returned to pooled, this is the leaked unleaked. Okay, previously reported were leak connection this. So these are the, we can easily like replicate those things. Now after certain time also you can see that in the all the 5 connection are available into the connection pool again. Okay, so now if we try again, then it will be, those requests will be success. Okay, so in this way, now suppose if we, okay, you can see that all means most of the requests are got failed, right? Because they are not able to get the connection, and also most of them also passed also. And if we like decrease the count, let's say 40 or 30, let me save this one, also clean this and saving this one, and let me run this one. Okay, now if we like see the console over here. Okay, so you can see it's nothing actually happening over here, means it's all are passed now, means without any means here they are not printing it, means all the connection pool are available basically, because it's not take much time. So whenever you are processing with the multiple requests, then they are like trying to get the connections, available connection, and means everyone trying to execute the queries. So that's why those times those are trying to get the connection from the pool, but those are already means acquired by some other thread. So in this way, basically we can defining those connection pool properties over here based on our system, means whatever the physical systems we are having, based on that we can defining, and based on the software we can define over here, and based on that we can easily like improve the performance of our application. So this is the overall things of that how we are going to improve the performance of our system using the connection pool, and how we are going to use some properties of the HikariCP. As you know, like Spring Boot already having this HikariCP implementation into the already is used. Basically we just need to use it proper way, we just need to defining this kind of properties into our system. And regarding the JMeter, I hope already I have added some videos about the JMeter. I will add those link into the description sections, and I will also like update the this is also available in the to-do management system, already available in the GitHub. I will add these properties into the existing system so that you guys can access those things. And as you can see, nothing changes are required, basically only this portion of changes are required to implement or achieve those connection pool into our system. Okay, so this is the overall things about the connection pool of in Spring Boot system. I hope it's clear to you all. If you guys still have any doubts, please do let me know in the comment section. I will try to definitely clear those doubts. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please press the bell icon for further notification. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in my next videos. Bye bye.